1.
On. Good afternoon, I am with Stephen Mulliner from the England team, commenting on today's play and the test series as it is so far.
Well, we've had a reasonable day. Two of our pairs were successful, with a marathon pegged out game involving David Moore and Jamie Birch against Robert Fletcher and Stephen Forster, which we probably thought would be the toughest game. And Robert Fulford and Samir Patel had a lengthy but in the end decisive encounter with Tim O'Leary and Ian Demergue. But I think the surprise package was the superb play of the oldest and youngest pair, Ken Bald and Malcolm Fletcher, who played extremely well and basically stuffed myself and James Death in 2 games. So we win 2-1 again. We've had 5 winning days, which is good. We've won 16-5. It's been tough. I think the scoreline's a bit unflattering to our opponents, but I think we feel that we've played our way well in, and people cope with the distinctly traditional United conditions pretty well. Very pleased for the club that the weather has improved, and so they've shown themselves off at their best. It would have been depressing for everyone if it had been a rain-soaked United looking nothing like what we all know it can be. But today, in the sun and the wind, and with one famous game whose players I will not name to save from embarrassment, going over 6.5 hours for one game, it shows how tough conditions are.
Yes, well, I gather that they are very tough, that the lawns have truly and utterly dried out, and that every hump and hollow has shown its face, and the nor'wester has compounded the problems. We've noticed some of the players having a real struggle getting in front of the odd hoop, like hoop 1 on lawn 4 and things like that.
Yep,
not your team, but
the hoops have been extremely good, especially in comparison to what we have seen before in earlier tournaments on the bowling green, where it was not trivial at all, courtesy of the Atkins quad-away hoops. And I think they do offer a real solution to the problem of how to make association croquet testing even on what are apparently easy and fairly slow lawns. So I'm hoping very much they'll be used in the UK in the coming season. We'll see if the high hopes for them are borne out in practice.
oh, that will be really good, because it will make things a little bit less easy, I think, is the way for the top players, who often say that the game has got too easy for them.
Yes, there hasn't been enough opportunity to break down, to be honest. And when hoops have to be run from straight in front to be sure of getting through, that's so different to what I've been used to in the last 10 or even 20 years back in the UK, where very often to be 3 or 4 yards somewhere in front, big angle, just slam the ball at the far upright, and hey presto, it'll pop through, unless you've had some very dry weather and the hoops are standing in firm, preferably clay-based ground. So, as I say, having seen how the bowling green played last January with super hoops, when it was trivial, and how it's played this week with the Atkins, where it's been anything but trivial, it's been a great contrast.
Great. So, are you looking forward to the next test
We
in
are.
Napier?
You're
playing
the US team remotely likely. They've warmed up too, and obviously hope to manage to get past them and then be ready for what one would expect to be the final between New Zealand and England. But the Australians, again, they've played much better than the scoreline suggests, and they might give the Kiwis a very, very hard run for their money up at Morewa. We certainly hope so.
It could be really interesting.
Yeah.
So we wish you a happy flight, safe journey up there, and we look forward to seeing you for Test 2 in Napier.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you for your time.